I'm Jodi Pilgrim. This training module is designed to promote instruction regarding web literacy skills for children. The module is approximately 14 minutes long and is intended for elementary and secondary teachers. Due to the abundance and availability of information throughout the world, students must be exposed to ways to navigate and discern online information. This exposure occurs through student-centered research opportunities in which students apply web literacy skills to acquire new knowledge. First, we will review web literacy to broaden our understanding of skills required of online web navigation. Next, we will discuss how to conduct effective internet searches. Finally, I hope to share ways to promote effective web literacy skills in the classroom. Web literacy skills align with educational goals for technology integration across the nation. According to our nation's technology plan, we must apply the advanced technologies used in our daily personal and professional lives to our entire education system for improved student learning. Today's children enter classrooms with technology skills influenced by internet surfing, blogging, texting, messaging, networking, and gaming. Educators should engage students with technology to teach them skills needed in the 21st century. What is web literacy? Web literacy, a term coined by Alan November, represents skills required for reading, writing, and participating in an online environment. In the classroom, web literacy typically involves the knowledge and use of specific skills needed to locate, evaluate, synthesize, organize, and communicate information found online. This term encompasses a wide variety of skills. In addition to communicating information, web users may collaborate with others across the world. Locating information entails student knowledge about various search engines. Keywords are used to search information, but students need to understand how to narrow searches using Boolean terms, quotation marks around key terms, or advanced search tools. Once information is located, students must evaluate information for validity and accuracy. For example, they may read and examine the URL in order to determine if the website's from a valid source or from a personal web page. Students may need to skim the content for clues about the source's reliability. Any information about the author or owner of a website provides beneficial clues regarding reliability. Finally, examining forward and backward links may provide insight into whether or not a source is associated with legitimate resources. We'll take a closer look at forward and backward links in a moment. Vast amounts of information are found online, and many students struggle to synthesize the information they find. Teachers often complain their students plagiarize by cutting and pasting information from websites. We must teach students to synthesize information by determining the important content. The information they review may be in various media forms. Students may read text, but in some cases, viewing photos or videos is necessary. Finally, as students understand the important content, they must reword the content for summary purposes. Teachers may remember organizing note cards in order to write research papers. With digital information, tools exist which enable students to organize information online. For example, social bookmarking tools, such as Diigo, enable students to bookmark information in files, to make notes on the files, and to share their notes digitally with others. To determine more information about social bookmarking, click the link in the PowerPoint. Social bookmarks enable us to save our digital pages. Here are some pages I've saved on my Diigo account. As students prepare to communicate the information they've accessed through either research reports or presentations, they need to select appropriate media tools for the process. Students may represent their knowledge through a variety of formats. They may also need to communicate and collaborate with others through Web 2.0 tools. Now that we have reviewed the basics of web literacy, let's examine a way you may introduce internet searches in the elementary classroom by discussing the search in research. The acronym SEARCH will be used to discuss the research process in kid-friendly terms. For a handout, click the link provided in the PowerPoint. The S in SEARCH stands for Select Keywords. Students must decide on the best terms to use for their search. Keywords typically reflect what you want to know about a topic, and there are ways to search for specific information. Many students type in questions. For an example, a student wanting to learn about landforms may type in, "What is a landform?" This is very common, but is not necessarily the best way to conduct a search. There are better ways to search using appropriate and intentional keywords. We will revisit keywords in a moment. The E in search stands for Evaluate Websites and Content. As students begin evaluating search results, they should carefully evaluate the hits before spending too much time at individual websites. Initial search results may include commercial sites where businesses have paid to have a website rank at the top of the list. Many of these are labeled ad, but other popular hits may appear as well. Evaluate the types of websites a search generated. We need to look for promising, trusted websites which will likely provide the desired information. This is a screenshot of a search for diabetes. First of all, there are over 400 million hits, so better keyword choices would have led to more specific and narrow information about diabetes. In reviewing the hits, we may choose to skip the ads and examine the other top hits. The American Diabetes Association looks like one that's likely to provide information about this disease. Content on websites must be evaluated as well. As students visit websites, teachers must encourage them to evaluate the content of a website for accuracy. This may involve determining the author or publisher of a website. You can often locate a website's publisher information by using the Who Is database. If a website's content seems questionable and you want to know who owns the site or has published the material, go to www.easywhois.com. Let's try it. I used the database to ensure the website provided earlier by the American Diabetes Association was legitimate. I typed in diabetes.org and conducted a search. And as you may have assumed, the website is okay. The website was created in 1995 by the American Diabetes Association. Other information is provided here as well. Earlier I mentioned forward and backward links as a way to evaluate a website. Let's look at an example. This website about the tree octopus is a good one to use as an example with children. In a search for octopus, this website was generated as a hit. However, upon closer evaluation, one becomes suspicious. Some of the hyperlinks take us to odd information. If you truncate the website to zapatopi.net, you learn the website is Zapato Productions Intradimensional and the author is Lau Zapato. The title tells us this is your source for conspiracies and other diversions serving the paranoid since 1997. Now, having students evaluate this website and others like it may be good practice in learning to determine legitimate websites and critically evaluate online information. The A in search stands for add quotation marks or Boolean terms. Boolean terms are words or symbols we can add to a search in order to locate specific information. As we discussed earlier, selecting key terms is an important part of the search process. Initial searches may result in over millions of hits, so it's helpful to narrow searches by adding to the keywords. Quotation marks are useful because they ensure keyword phrases are searched in the order in which you type them. Let's try an example. A search for blue whale produced the following result with 15,600,000 hits. A revised search, adding quotation marks around blue whale, narrows our search to 880,000. Other search tips may be useful as well. We can use the plus sign to join words or phrases or to require that common words are included in our search. We can also use the minus sign to eliminate words in searches. This may have been useful in our search for diabetes earlier. If we only want information about type 1 diabetes, we can conduct the search juvenile diabetes minus type 2. Please note the quotation marks I used in this search. Basic Boolean terms include and or. Or actually broadens a search but may help find specific information about terms. Digital literacy and web literacy are very similar in concept. If both of these are of interest to us, we could conduct the search web literacy or digital literacy to help us locate information about either of these topics. And narrows a search but isn't required. I could type web literacy and digital literacy and information literacy, or just type web literacy, digital literacy, information literacy. The R in search stands for refined results. A search can be narrowed further by using tools such as the Google toolbar, which enables internet users to conduct advanced searches using criteria such as language, readability, file type, and more. Try it by clicking on the gear shift in the upper right-hand corner of the Google page. An advanced search, as seen here, enables us to narrow search in many ways. For example, language preferences may be specified. You can find pages published in a particular region. You can designate how recent you want a website update to be by using the Last Update tool to find pages updated within the time you specify. You can search one site or limit results to domains like .edu, .org, or .gov. You can search for terms in the whole page, simply the page title, or in the web address. You can filter searches using the Safe Search option. You can also select the type of file that you want to locate. For example, I could search specifically for a PowerPoint, or I could look for videos and PDFs. Last but not least, you can designate usage rights depending on whether you want sources to free to use, free to share, or sources that you can modify. The C in search stands for check the URL. Check the URL for clues about a website's content. Internet users must understand the domain and extension. We need to know how to find an author, and we need to utilize many other clues URLs may provide. For example, when a tilde is in a URL, this is a clue that we are being taken to a personal web page. The H in search stands for hunt for key information. Wading through online text to find targeted information can be tedious. As we hunt, we need to remember the following tips. We need to skim text for important information. We always need to be sure to use multiple sources. If a keyword doesn't work, try alternative keywords or phrases. We can also try bookmarking useful information in order to revisit websites at a later date. Google processes an average of 40,000 search queries every second. This equates to 1.2 trillion searches per year worldwide. Our students are accessing the web, but do they utilize Google and other search engines correctly? Have you thought about ways to improve our students' internet searches? As more and more online research is required of students, educators need to understand the importance of knowledge about internet searches, hyperlinks, search engines, and other components of internet searches. This knowledge is crucial to help students find reliable information online while keeping them safe in the process. In Module 2, I will introduce a web literacy checklist teachers may use as they assign research topics for students to investigate. Thank you for joining me.